After 3 whole weeks and another delayed translation, Chapter 37 of Baki Rahen has officially released, and Hanayama is not accepting any form of pity. And if you would like to interact with me, my community, show off your art, drop some memes, talk in general, or maybe even self-promote, then you can join the Discord that can be found in the description box below. But anyway, in the last chapter of Baki Rahen, Kaoru Hanayama made his entrance into the arena and began talking to Jack Hanma, raising the tensions between these two fighters more than I could have ever expected. And these two are still facing off, with neither of them backing down, as Mr. Tokugawa is now unsure of what is about to happen any moment from now. Jack then said, "Mr. Tokugawa, this match, hasn't it already begun?" As Jack and Hanayama are now making direct eye contact, and it seems Mr. Tokugawa actually does not want to see this match happen for the time being, as he began to make an attempt to de-escalate this confrontation. "Quiet, Jack. Doing it like that? This is not some kind of small-time match that we could just start at the drop of a hat. Surely in a situation such as this one, the decision of when to start would have to lie with the injured party." As Jack then began breathing out of his nose. So in other words, if I do not have a problem, then we should not have a problem, right? Jack is not the kind of fighter that would ever back down, so Jack wanting to fight through an injury is a given. Jack, he is so cool. Yeah, jump right in, as the crowd began getting excited for a back-to-back fight. Hanayama, he can talk all that he likes, but before Mr. Tokugawa could finish speaking, Hanayama finally spoke up, causing the entire crowd to grow silent. "You are bleeding right now, you know." And it appears Jack was extremely shocked that Hanayama would say something like that. Hanayama just questioned Jack's will to continue, leaving not only Jack confused, but also the crowd. True, but as the crowd began mumbling, knowing that Hanayama is correct, but Jack would most likely also be perfectly fine, and would not care about this injury of his. What about it? What does it matter if I am bleeding? And Hanayama then said something that almost nobody would have expected from him. "I am not great with blood," and this is the one that made Jack the most confused. Huh? And Mr. Tokugawa then began laughing at Jack's reaction to this statement from Hanayama. "Aren't you a brawler? Isn't street fighting your thing?" "Well, I suppose that is what everyone says." Hanayama is bringing out his inner Thorfinn right now, and Jack just could not understand or believe that Hanayama feels this way, as Jack does not personally know Hanayama's mindset or personality. "Mr. Tokugawa, please, would you say something?" "Nothing to worry about, Jack." As Jack then got quiet, now just being in a state of absolute confusion. With those deep gashes that are all up your body, you are indeed inarguably injured. With Jack's wounds that he sustained from his fight with Pickle still bleeding plenty of blood, whenever you are all fixed up, he should appear before you, and I am sure he will have dealt with his fear of blood by then as well. As Hanayama nodded his head. Until then, with Hanayama waving and then turning around and walking away. Oh? Hanayama turns his back on him. Jack Hanma could not believe what had just happened. Hanayama just turned around and walked away from a fight for the sake of Jack's health and his apparent fear of blood, with Jack also most likely not being able to understand Hanayama's morals. He turns his back and makes his exit. Whoa, what a guy. Kaoru Hanayama, talk about mature. Jack then began looking around confused at why everybody in the arena was cheering. "Tokugawa, what is everybody so worked up for?" As Tokugawa then let out a little chuckle while smiling. We know Hanayama Kaoru. We know what kind of man he is. We know just what a fine man he is. How mature of a response to an injured man's challenge. Hanayama calmly turns his back and withdraws out of concern for the giant that is Jack Hanma. He forces himself to turn his back until the day that these two meet again, and this is like two different worlds colliding. On one side, Jack Hanma became a legend of the arena purely by defeating his competition and being insanely strong, While on the other hand, Hanayama is loved by the people, not just because he is strong, though that is partially a reason, but also for the type of man that Kaoru Hanayama is. And as Hanayama was walking out of the arena, Baki had actually went backstage to talk to Hanayama. Yo, hey there. Hanayama Kaoru versus Jack Hanma, my brother who could not care less about his methods, matched up against the man obsessed with his own head. A clash of styles, a battle between two very different schools. No, nothing so small. Hanayama, you cannot lose this fight. This is a holy war. This fight is not near being over, and as a matter of fact, this fight will resume soon. And the next chapter could even potentially start this fight up again, though it will most likely, in my opinion, be based around Hanayama, due to us not really knowing what Hanayama has recently been up to. And speaking of Hanayama, he is being extremely underestimated by the Baki community. And if Jack had not agreed to not utilize his biting ability, I would agree to an extent. But due to Jack Hanma not being able to bite Hanayama, I believe this fight will be a particularly good one. Though also a particularly brutal one, as Hanayama is known to go all in and never dodge attacks. Instead, Hanayama just takes these attacks head on, as well as Hanayama having an insane level of strength. And I believe Hanayama's physical strength could rival Jack's, though Jack's technique could tear Hanayama apart, as by far as I know, Hanayama does not really study any form of martial art, which eventually led to Hanayama creating this brawling Street Fighter type of fighting style, as well as Kaoru Hanayama's extremely strong bones that even managed to stop Musashi Miyamoto's blade. And also, Hanayama is now blind in his left eye as a result of this Musashi Miyamoto fight, giving Hanayama a blind spot that Jack could very easily take advantage of. And this battle will not just be a normal fight, but a clash of philosophies. Hanayama is a perfectionist that stands by his morals at all costs, while on the other hand, Jack Hanma has willingly given up the sacrifice of his morals in exchange for power and strength through the use of steroids. And that is gonna be all for today's chapter. Let me know in the comment section below, did you enjoy today's chapter? And if you enjoyed today's video and would like to support me and see more, then you can leave a like and subscribe. It's completely free on your end and helps me out way more than you may think. And once again, if you would like to interact with me, my community, show off your art, drop some memes, talk in general, or maybe even self-promote, then you can join the Discord that can be found in the description box below. But that will be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!